another exciting episode of version 86. Thank you for tuning in to channel 44. I'm your host MUGUME CANARY. Today on the show, I bring you a success story of a 29-year-old SSERUNJOJI, who is the CEO of Purple Group, a company that deals in team building. So he's a team building expert. Welcome on the show, Ismael.
Thank you, Canary.
How is the going with Purple Group?
What do you mean by the going?
The business.
Purple Group was founded in 2008, and we have been around for the last 7 years.
For the last 7 years?
Yes.
Okay.
And we mainly, our niche is team building.
Okay.
And we help companies, when people come together, we help companies bring productivity out of their staff, even when they have small circumstances in there.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are 29?
Yes.
The company has existed for 7 years?
Yes.
So that means you began this when you were 22?
Yes.
How do you become an expert in team building when you are 22? I expect people who are 50 or 60 to do this.
Yes, thank you so much, Canary. And I've faced the same question everywhere I go.
Yes.
Because being a young person, most times when you go to facilitate training, they ask you, where is the facilitator? Because of the way you look, your size,
Yes.
they expect experts to be...
And you see you're small like me, so
Yes.
you look
The
a little more younger.
experts are expected to be with a certain kind of stomach, with certain grey hair,
Yes.
and probably in that range. But I graduated when I was 20 years. I finished my master's when I was 21 years. So
Your master's at
yes.
21?
Yes.
What age did you start school? You should have started school at the age of 2 or something.
No, I did. I actually went to Nakaseo Primary School.
Okay. You dodged kindergarten?
No, I went to a kindergarten, but I went to Nakaseo, and I think along the way I kept on, because of the brightness, I kept on going to one class to another. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So by 21 you had finished your
I was
master's.
done.
So before you did the master's, what did you graduate with?
I did a Bachelor of Science.
Bachelor of Science.
Yes,
And you have a master's in what?
in mathematics.
Oh, this is interesting. So, how does mathematics and science and team building connect? How do the two connect? How do you have a degree in mathematics, a degree in science, yes, and then a master's in mathematics, and then you're doing team building? Okay, I don't get that. How do you get the courage to do team building despite the fact that you did a different thing at education levels?
Yes, thank you, Canary. I think our education system and our background dictates that our parents usually tell us what to study.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if it's the same with you, but the course you do is most times dictated by your parents.
Yes, yes.
But it's not what you really want to do. And that's the problem that most companies have. Most of the people that are employed, they don't love their jobs. They're in the jobs because they graduated in something.
Okay.
So, and because of that, I realized, I worked for about a year or two. Then I realized I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
What were you doing by then?
I tried lecturing,
Okay.
and then I worked for some other person. And I was really bored in my job. I could clearly doze off at one point.
So that was profession?
Yes, it was professional.
Okay.
And along the way I met a lady called Nora Boya. And she saw something in me, and after when she saw that, I was like, okay, I think this is what I was meant to do.
Okay.
And since then I've never looked back.
So you met Nora.
Yes.
Is she your mentor?
Yes, she's my mentor.
She's your mentor?
Yes.
So how did you turn from being a lecturer to being a team building expert?
I'm an expert right now because I've done it for more than 5 years.
Okay.
Anything you do for more than 5 years,
You're an expert?
yes. You're supposed to be one.
Okay.
Yes.
So how did your mind change? What did you want after you graduated? What did you want to do after you graduated? What was your career goal?
I think I was just like another person, but I didn't have a career goal. What I had in mind is that I had to graduate.
What? So you were studying just
And
like that?
yes, just like any normal Ugandan person.
Okay.
But along the way I discovered my passion is to see change in people.
Okay.
And that's why I usually do this. And it's not very easy, but my passion lies in seeing change in people.
I think you share the same passion with us, version 86. We want to see change in this generation. there's no change, then we are really doing nothing. But of course, we're expecting change out of such success stories. When you share them with other young people, we expect them to get motivated and inspired. So, tell us some of the challenges you faced when you're starting up this pop-up group company that deals with team building in its infant stages, because most of the companies in this generation, young people startup, they fail in their first 5 or maybe 1 year.
First 3 years.
You know, they fail and they don't get back to their feet. How did you manage to make it up to 7 years now?
I think the first thing would be persistence.
Okay.
And that one, at one point I thought I had to give up,
Okay.
but because I knew, because of the love to see change in people, and you know, Uganda, there are many things that happen. Like I've just told you about the way people perceive somebody who is an expert in something.
Yes, our mindset.
Yes, our mindset is still, if they see a professor, they expect a professor to be looking in a certain way.
Yes.
But along the way, persistence and of course prayer.
Yeah.
I pray a lot,
Okay.
and I would call myself a workaholic.
Okay.
Yes, I really work a lot. I sleep like 4 hours a night, only
Oh.
4. By about 5 I'm up.
But I always read on the internet, and the books I read, they say that you should be getting enough sleep, close to 7 to 8 hours, if you want your brain to function well the next day. How do you manage to sleep 4 hours and then the next day operating? Are you kind of a robot or something?
I'm not a robot, and that's the thing. If you are trying to have this a project startup, and you have people that are behind you that are expecting a lot from you, you have to put in more working hours more than them.
Okay.
So I usually burn the midnight oil
Okay.
to do extra work. And maybe because during the day I'm occupied with the facilitation of trainings and so on.
Okay.
So my days usually begin at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's get into the real content. What does pop-up group do? What do you mean by team building? What do you exactly do with pop-up group? And what is your mission?
Now, team building, it's very easy to bring people together.
Okay.
Like if you're working for version 86, you have your CEO and somebody started with the dream, and then they begin hiring people.
Yes.
You have a receptionist, you have a cashier, accountant,
Yes.
and so many others.
Yes.
Now, because your vision, mission, as the CEO, vision, mission, values for your company are different from all those guys that you have just employed. Now, you need to get these guys on board such that you have the company's mission and their vision and mission aligned such that you guys can move ahead.
So how do you do that? Maybe you did the 1 year of psychology, that or what? How do you manage to? Because we come with different ideologies.
Yes.
And different agendas.
Yes.
How many people do you employ in the first place?
We're about 7
7.
full-time and then associates.
Okay.
Yes.
How many part-timers?
About 10.
10.
Yes.
How do you get all these people marching in your direction the way you want them to be? Because, as I said, we come with different ideologies and hidden agendas at times.
Yes.
Yes. As the CEO, how do you manage to do this?
Like I was saying, most times, most Ugandans get employed to get money.
Yes.
They may actually have no clue for the job. Like we usually call it, they are working for you because it's raining outside. Raining outside means when the rain stops, the rain could be anything. Their dream job has not yet come, their ETC has not yet come. These are, like in Uganda, I know the moment somebody walks into office, the first website they open is what? Facebook. Yes, you see, you also open Facebook. Before they even read the mails of what's going on. That's what happens. And it's okay for them. Now, as a person, and unfortunately, the shareholders of a company, the managers, have very different expectations.
Yes.
But if you have somebody who is working for a company for money and does not appreciate where the company is coming from, then it's not good for the company and productive wise. Now, what we normally do is, if we get a chance and we bring these people together, our role is to help managers identify that, okay, these guys are not on the same wavelength with you, or if they are, then they need to just be, if it's a pot, then you just need a little molding.
So, as you do team building, what goes on in the activities you do? Do you sit down with these people and tell them, you know what, you people, you're supposed to do this and this and this?
Yes, and I think unlike other people that are in the business, we don't, we never use PowerPoint. I know in Uganda, every person who calls himself a consultant should be able to use PowerPoint presentation. They design something very nice and they take you to a hotel.
Isn't it so corporate?
And they sit you down and they, do you have your pens and paper? Then they talk, as they talk you doze. And one day later I don't remember anything. Now what we do is, everything that we do is practical. And most times, actually because of the PowerPoint thing, most Ugandans, when they know you're going for a training, they come with their pens because they expect to write stuff.
Yes.
But we believe that you can tell a person, you can tell how people work by the way they play. If I really want to know how people in your company work, just give them a ball to kick around. Give them a challenge and then you'll see what happens. So we take people through different challenges. And
like what?
What?
Do you guys go fishing? Do you play football, volleyball?
Football, volleyball, that's just like a side activity. We have a rocks course. We can take you through, and I don't know, we have like many challenges. But it depends on the company, because we don't have a drawer where we pull out proposals. That this is your problem, CANARY. I think this is your solution. We make sure that our solutions are organized, such that we know what exact activity will suit your challenge that you have.
Oh, interesting. Unlike other people there who just sit back and relax in their homes and they think they're going to surf the internet from Monday to Friday, they think they're going to earn from it. For you, you stepped out on your feet and started working out something with your hands.
Yes.
And you're earning from it. It is now 7 years.
Yes.
Do you have a side job?
No, this is my job. This is what I would do until.
And you're surviving.
Yes.
Interesting. These are the success stories we need to hear, we need to listen to, so you can get inspired. Let's go for a short break. When we return, we are going to hear more from ISMAEL SSERUNJOJI, is 29 CEO of Purple Group, a team building company. We shall be back. Welcome back from that short break. I'm still with ISMAEL SSERUNJOJI, 29 CEO of the company. First, when we hear about CEOs, we expect them to be 50 and what. How do you get your clients? Don't you go to companies at times and then they'll be like, you know what, no, I think you don't manage this.
Okay, how do I get our clients? How do we get our clients? We get our clients through mostly referral.
Okay. And
what we did is we did for 2 companies very good work, and they refer us to the next, and they refer us. The moment we got the next one, they are like, oh my God, they refer us to the next. But we also do, we write proposals.
Okay.
Yes, but mostly through referrals.
Okay.
Yes.
What are some of the companies that you've worked for?
We have worked for everybody and anybody, from apart from Channel 44 yet. But we have worked for UNDP, most of the USAID funded projects. We've done their retreats, we've done stuff. We have a running project with the Parliament of Uganda currently.
That's interesting.
We have worked for Lion Assurance, we have worked for Amref, Total, Talo Oil. The list can go on and on. Okay. Yes.
What are some of the challenges you're still facing? Some of the challenges that are still holding the company back?
Still holding us back, I think, would be...
Or maybe you have achieved your success yet?
Not yet, because every day is a learning process.
Yeah, sure.
So, still holding us back, I think it's the staff. Because most times when you have people coming on board and you pass to them, you mentor them to learn something, you teach them how to do a lot of things, and they discover that maybe that's not what they meant to do. So they take you back because you have to mentor another person through the same process. so far that's the only challenge.
Okay. And as a group, you're already earning from this and realizing big profits.
Yes.
So what are your future perspectives about this company?
Future perspectives, we have a lot of things going on. Right now we have a work culture and ethics program that people out there should, you go to our Facebook page and you like it and probably register.
Okay. You have to pay money for that, but
Yes. we discovered that most 80% of young people are in the jobs they don't like. Probably, yes.
because of the circumstances they can't avoid.
Because they had to write a cover letter and they wrote the cover letter very well and they got the job. Now 80% are in the jobs that they don't like. Because of that, we are partnering with some companies and we are taking about 100 people to some island. And you should be a graduate, first of all, and you don't have to pay anything. You just go to our page and you register, and we shall pick you up, take you to an island, give you basic skills on what employers need. Apart from, because when you go and do a degree, say development studies, it doesn't tell you because the employer's expectations are different and your expectations are different.
Okay.
And we shall take them through a 1-week rough course. By the time they leave, they should at least know why they should follow.
So where does the company gain from if you just take people without them paying?
No, the companies will be paying us.
They are companies?
Yes, there are companies that are partnering with us to
okay.
identify for them talent. Because even when they get people to recruit for them, normally they don't get the best. Again, they go through the same sub.
Interesting.
Yes.
How has it been easy or hard for you, for Ugandans, or Ugandan companies or Ugandan CEOs of other companies to take in your idea? When you write a proposal, maybe when you walk to this company and tell them, I think team building is needed in this company. How has it been easy or hard for you, for them to digest in the idea?
Okay.
How do you manage to convince them?
I think
If you don't have the big stomach and you don't wear specs or something, you don't look.
I think convincing is another thing. But normally people think team building is going out to a bar with your friends and having a drink and shout and go away. But in most companies, they think team building, you take these guys somewhere and as long as they have fun. But for us, there is that fun aspect and something else. So how do we normally convince our clients? From the activities that we do. And like I said, we have an activity for a client, and it's that client that will actually tell the next person, are you guys doing something? Call Popo Group.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Tell us about the achievements you've gotten so far since you started this company.
Achievements.
Because if you have no achievements, then that means the company isn't maybe, profiting or something. But I believe you have achievements.
Yes, achievements we have made. From the company perspective, we have made a name for ourselves. And from a personal, I've also made a name for myself.
What do you mean you've made a name?
You will probably won't walk into a few offices and 1 or 2 people don't know me. Yes.
And how has that been helpful?
To me? I can walk into anybody's office.
Without first sitting for 2
I
hours on the reception?
I don't have to sit. I don't have to talk even to the receptionist most times. Yes. Then also just seeing the people that you work with also, because they come in when they're at a certain level financially, and then you see them progressing from one level to another. Yeah, I think it also brings satisfaction to me.
So you have been seeing the impacts, positive impacts of your lessons and what on other companies?
Yes. Okay,
that's interesting. Version 86 is all about televising the lives of young people born after 1986.
Yes.
Because we look at 1986 as a turning point. Now, currently there is this saying, what is wrong with children of these days? Children of these days, they are complaining about children of these days. By children, I mean the people born after 1986.
Yes.
You were born 1986 because you are 29. Yes. Around there.
Around there.
All right. What do you think is wrong with the generation of 1986?
Thank you. I think.
What do you think is wrong or right about this generation?
What would be the challenge with this generation? our generation is at a clash, I would say, because we have there is the internet age, the technology that is really going so fast.
Yes.
And then we have the education, which is teaching the kids something else.
Yes.
Then we have the environment, three things.
Yes.
Now, and yet we are Ugandans, we call ourselves Africans. I'll give you an example. When I had when they were debating about the anti-homosexuality bill, I would actually laugh most of the time, because when you hear what people would say, they would say, for us, we are Ugandans, we are Africans, so we should be in this, we're supposed to behave in this way. But then those are the same people that go to clubs, ladies that go to clubs, like you'd read in the papers, pantyless. So I don't know, culture says don't be gay, but it says go to a club pantyless.
Yes.
So I think there's a clash as people. We don't have an
Who's
identity.
to blame for that clash? The youth, the government, our elders, who's to blame for the clash?
I think, who is to blame? I think the education system and also the
education
parents.
system, okay.
I think it's the education system. Because as a person, you should be able to come out and say, these are my values, this is what I think I should go to. And probably I would ask you, I did social studies in primary.
Yes.
I've not used my social studies anywhere apart from passing PLE. But if there are things that are taught in school
And they're practical.
and they help people to be better people, I learned that the Luo migrated from South Sudan. But right up to now, I've never used the Luo migration anyway.
So according to you, give us examples of subjects, or what kind of education system would you like to see emphasized on the...
You know, CANARY, when you're in kindergarten, there's a song they usually tell those guys to sing. When you grow up, what do you want to be?
Yes.
And probably kids at that age, you say doctor, teacher, whatever you say.
Yes.
Now, I would think that as you continue, and if you ask that same person in Uganda today, 10 years later, the person who said doctor will not remember that they said doctor.
Yes.
So if we have a way of getting those kids, because they have their dreams, and have a way of helping them attain that, because if a person wants to be a doctor, then their mind is set to be that.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think someone is supposed to be doing everything as long as you're capable of doing it, because you cannot realize someone's talent at the age of 2. It's very hard. It could be something you like to do.
And CANARY, that is our problem.
Yes.
If you walk, I was talking to some friend of mine, he's a Dutch guy. He wanted to have his house, to have an inbuilt fridge and cooker in his house.
Yes.
He saw it somewhere and he wanted it. And when I told him, do you think a Ugandan can make it? He said, a Ugandan will never tell you what he cannot do. As Ugandans, we think we can do everything. But most of the time we do crap. Yeah?
Yes.
And, but if we can identify that this guy is good at this, let him do that. Let him be the best at what he does. Then that would be, but if you think you can be a driver, you can be a mechanic, then you are this.
Isn't it advantageous to be a multitasker?
No, multitasking is different. Multitasking is talking to me now, but you're on phone and being able to check your WhatsApp and maybe check your email. But being able to do different things is something else. Because if you are doing many things, then you are good at nothing. Yeah?
Yes, but I've had
if you're a rally driver and you're a tennis player and you're a very good, just imagine if Usain Bolt was skiing. Okay, blacks don't ski, but imagine if you were skiing and you was a rally driver and tennis player. What do you think you could be good at?
maybe nothing.
Nothing, yes. So if you specialize in something, and everybody knows that if you need a very good TV presenter, you go to CANARY, and such that by the time you realize you're on BBC or CNN or doing something with BET.
But then, Ismael,
yes,
I don't know, a lot of people are complaining about our education system, a lot. But maybe they don't realize that by the time you do SST, you do science, you do physics, you do mathematics, they are trying to take you through all the things you have to learn. And maybe at the end of it all, you realize that maybe I'm best in this. When you pass English and you fail mathematics, you realize that you're good in mathematics and then you specialize in that.
And
how will you?
And that is I know where you're
Let me
going.
tell you. How will you realize that you're good in you're good in expert in team building when you don't try it? If they don't give you a chance to try it.
Now, trying is something else. What you're talking about is marks. Our education system is based on who has passed what, and that is the problem. There are guys who got 4 aggregates.
Yes.
When they're in P7.
Yes.
Then there are guys who got 6 in 6. It doesn't mean that if you pass something, that's it. Because if you read, passing is read, concentrate, write down on paper, somebody marks you. You pass. But there is something that you are passionate about. Somebody says, I want to be a lawyer. Give them chance to be a lawyer. I passed history in O level.
Yes.
What's my history doing for me right now? Nothing.
Okay.
But I'm actually thinking if I had known that this was my calling and I had started a little bit earlier, I think I would be very far.
Maybe you wouldn't have known it if you hadn't tried out different things and realized
No, I think I'm actually late. I'm very late. If I had known that this is what I was supposed to, I would be very far.
Okay.
Like for example, if there are guys, if there are young people watching you right now, I don't know how old you are, but if there are people watching you, they would be like, when I grow up, I want to be like CANARY. And then they go and do all these subjects. Then they realize, oh no, I can't be like CANARY because my parent, my big brother, my sister thinks I can't be CANARY. And yet that's what I would rather be. That's what I would excel in most. And the guy goes and becomes a doctor. Those are the bad doctors we have that abuse patients in hospitals.
Okay. So does the environment you're in right now allow you to work and do whatever you want?
I think it could be better, but we are surviving.
You're surviving?
Yes.
Okay, we shall begin there next time. Thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you so much, Kenneth, for seeing me.
I hope when you're 60-something or 70-something, I host you on the show and then you tell us how far Papa Group has come.
Yes.
I hope so.
Okay.
Thank you for being part of the show. Remember, you can leave your comments on our Facebook page or our Twitter page, version 86 for Facebook and at Project 86_UG for Twitter. And you can catch all these episodes on YouTube. Remember, you can also send us your comments on 6044. Just type version 86, leave a space and send us your comments. We shall be glad to hear from you. Thank you for watching today's episode. Catch you next time. I remain yours truly, MUGUME CANARY.